3, 2, 1, let's go.
That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my
you ask, I deliver every time.
Shit, just let me go.
And I brought this live from our front here. This is the most badass podcast at all the known land. Ladies and gentlemen, Cobb's coming. This is Mr. Matt behind the glass and the very ridiculous petty. Do I even call you? You're done with the whole petty bit, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'm done with the whole petty thing, but I'm not offended when people still refer to me as Petty Paige. It's fine.
You don't care, man. Well, I don't care if you get offended. You're not shot for the point. You know what I mean? So I don't go. So here's the thing. You said you sent me a day. You said, look, we essentially agree on the whole thing. My issue with I didn't even disagree with half the things you said. My issue was it seemed like you were kind of like I don't know what's the word for it. I don't speak the Queen's English. You do. There's Diva. She's my Diva. I have a new hot black chick. You've been replaced. She's exotic. She has a British accent. Sorry, Diva. Thanks for the 5.
I was actually streaming with Diva last night.
Really?
Yeah, it was lots of fun.
Oh, really? She's a sweetheart. I love her to death.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I think my issue is like I don't think you knew a lot about what happened between me and her. That this wasn't like a one-time thing, and you're kind of passing it off as like, oh, there goes the boys again, just getting on her case for the sake of getting on her case. And that wasn't like we were really good to her. I swear to God.
Well, for me personally, what happened was I saw that like everyone was talking about Illuminati. This was after the legal situation where she'd like taken down all the posts. So I kind of thought like, oh, well, what the fuck's going on? And then people were like, oh, loads of people have come forward. They're giving their, stories. So then literally that evening, I couldn't sleep because I was not very well. So I literally spent the entire evening watching Tipster's video, watching your previous video. I even came across Truth Sleuth's video that she did like, I think almost 2 years ago to do with Illuminati and the past situation. I was able to find an old deleted video by Cruel World Happy Mind detailing her situation with her.
That video? Because I would have loved to have that video because.
It's like an archive, like on one of those archive websites. I can send you a link.
All right, so here's the thing I don't understand though, like why didn't you get like? Look, I get like on the surface. The whole thing with her accusation of plagiarism. All right, if that's all it was, yeah, it's no big deal. Like then everybody would made a big deal out of it. But I think you and some of it, in fairness to you couldn't possibly know. She's really treated us like shit.
I'm not here to sit here and be like an advocate for Illuminati. There seems to be like a lot of people, especially on social media, who seem to think that I'm either friends with her or I'm like a huge fan of her content.
It did sound like
I don't watch her content. I'm not her friend. It has nothing to do with that. For me personally, it came down just to the pure hypocrisy of the community as a whole.
Okay.
When it comes to yourself, Tommy, as well as Tipster, because obviously Tipster's had his run-ins with her as well. When it comes to the pair of you, I feel like you guys have more than enough room to be pissed off with this person. But for me, there was members of the community who I believe acted one way when it was a different situation and then acted completely different when it was a situation pertaining to themselves.
Okay, all right, I'm sorry. You weren't finished. I apologize. Finish up.
No, I was just going to say it was mainly how I remember the whole Gabbie Hanna situation taking place, right? So when it comes to Gabbie Hanna, obviously within the tea community, there is a long-standing history of her negative bullshit behavior that so many people were upset with. But there were people such as like Nicholas Diorio, Augie, etc., who were, basically telling the tea community, set all of that aside, set the Kenta Cosmetics scandal aside, set the Jessie Smiles situation aside. We're focusing on this situation right now. We're focusing on one moment, even though the community was basically trying to say we're showing pattern behavior. Well, Nicholas Diorio even sat down and did a live stream alongside Repzilla, where Repzilla was basically saying, echoing that sentiment that, it's a pattern of behavior. That's why people didn't take that situation so lightly.
The thing is too, I think the thing with if I had to do that, and I wasn't as deeply involved in that as that, but I totally supported Gabbie Hanna. Gabbie Hanna is clearly afflicted with something. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so it's like, I look at your side. It's like, you're for everyone thing. You support this community, that minority. That's it. And then we have a girl with a glaring mental issue. She gets no quarter. That's one aspect of it. Some of the things we did go through, and I do remember, and I honestly can't get into it with each one of them. With Gabbie Hanna, oh my God, I'm back to being a drama tuber. I don't like it, but anyway, no, I don't mind actually. When it comes to some of the allegations against her were just bullshit, like just lies. I'm sure you can show me a bunch of stuff that I couldn't defend her on, but for everything we could find things we couldn't defend her on, there were 20 things we could. And then the hypocrisy of that particular community, which I know you've divorced yourself from, they have no compassion. There's no road to redemption. I'm 100%. Supposed to be this hateful racist that'll say friggin' anything, and I don't care about anything. And then I have more compassion for this girl than her own community does, which I never understood. And I think you addressed that. I've never said that you're unfair. I totally disagree with you sometimes. I didn't think you got the whole story on this, and maybe that too. But I mean, we're talking like, who was the girl that just flat out lied, Matt? The one that, not Wavy, Willie Mack did a video on. The girl looks very Irish looking.
Angelica Oles.
No, she's Polish looking.
Pastel Bell.
Pastel Bell. Yeah, I mean, oh my God, some of the stuff with her was just, it crossed the grounds of cruelty.
Yeah.
I mean,
can I make one point about the Gabbie stuff? I feel like with the Gabbie stuff, around every corner she was getting criticized publicly all the time.
Yeah.
And some of those criticisms were right, but she was getting the criticism, right? Throughout her career. The thing with Illuminati was she was kind of able to get away with stuff. Like, she fucked over Tommy, and she kind of she was able to walk away with that without even any sort of pushback.
One of the things she walked away with it, because I didn't make it my fucking, it wasn't like a Keemstar thing when I didn't make it the bane of my existence too. If you notice, the only streams we did, some of them are months and years apart. If you watch my stuff, it was really just to point out, why we weren't working together anymore, how she behaved with me. And like, I've dealt with some ill people before. I've dealt with some pretty nutty people. I mean, I've dealt with like stone psychopaths, murderers probably in their own time in the army. I've never had anybody turn to me like that quickly, their tone of voice, their everything. You couldn't possibly know that, in fairness. But I mean, like, we're talking like, we loved her. We loved her. We thought she was funny, and she was fun, and she was one of the guys, so she kind of broke through that whole thing. And then all of a sudden, we're misogynists now? Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, like, it's quite clear that she's changed her stance, because even the idea that, like, she was associated quite heavily with your own community was quite wild to me, considering how strong her PC stances are, because even some of her stances don't align with mine, and I would consider myself extremely liberal. Yeah. But so it was wild to me that she had that kind of association.
That should have been, I think, a bell ring for you, or a red flag for you. Like that quick.
This is the point. Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead. Oh no, you go ahead. You got it.
No, but this is the thing, is that when I was looking at it from an outsider's perspective looking in. And I feel like, especially with the audience, especially with my audience as well, because we have to remember our audiences differ. With my audience, they're going to be looking at it from the outside looking in. They're not going to know who Risco is, or whatever his name is. They're not going to know who Tommy C is, unfortunately. They're not going to know all of the lore that went into the back end. So when it comes to focusing on the situation, people are really, on my side of the internet, only going to focus on what's happening now, because all of that stuff is not going to make any difference to them.
Well, I mean, and that's my criticism to you. I don't think you gave us enough. I don't think you gave me enough break. I don't think our being angry with her, if it was just that thing, you would have been right. And I think you're wrong, because there was a whole, like, it was like personal mistreatment over and over again. And then we started seeing it happen to other people over the years.
Every community she went to, she like there's a story about her, basically.
There's a story. So it's more. I gotta be honest with you. I'm not trying to say like we're all high and mighty in here. We're good people. We were spiking the football. It's fun. you know, I mean, you want to talk about petty. I mean, we're being petty to some extent, but I don't think anybody's really trying. Well, at least I'm not trying and act like they're above that. So that's really my criticism. Tio is like, I just like, geez. I mean, I know you might like you don't have to like what I do or like you may have a problem with it, but you know, we were nothing but nice to her. Nothing but nice to her. And by the way, we didn't make fun of her in any way that she wasn't willing to make fun of other people, including tipster, including leftists, liberals. All those things were on the freaking table. You know, and by the way, we get everybody. That was always the rule. If you can't hack it, if you can't get goofed on your missing leg, or if you're black, or if you're Hispanic or Puerto Rican, and that's the rules here. If this isn't a place for you, and we don't want to put you in a position, but once you bring something up on the show, she's game. She was a part of that. We made freaking sexist jokes in front of her about her. She was all laughs. You know, but that was just, you know, because I was a leg on the ladder at the time. So that is why. That's why I didn't understand it. Because I mean, you even said you did watch my stuff, right? Did you have any issue with the old stuff or
your old content
pertaining to her?
Pertaining to her, no, because it was a personal situation that you went through with her. So for me, like the idea that somebody could go onto my channel and delete my videos fucking annoys me no end as well. But I think that when we're looking at situations like this, we also have to remember there are numerous players within the game, if you will, who obviously have their own situations with her. It's like, for me, for instance, people who know me from my community, I had Gabbie Hanna, probably one of the biggest black makeup gurus, tell people that I stole money from her bank account, right? And that was like a huge deal back in 2018. That was literally all anybody was talking about. And when that happened, obviously from that moment onwards, I'm not going to have an unbiased opinion about Gabbie Hanna because I don't fucking like her. Fuck her all the way to hell.
I wish I would have found out about that.
So when people are coming and wanting to hear, you know, like there's a drama or a situation, you're not going to get an unbiased perspective from me because I think she's dog shit.
Why did I know about this drama? I would have had a title, Black People Steal From Each Other. That would have been awesome. I'd have got real big.
Literally though, that's the part that fucking annoyed me because it's like there's already a fucking stigma there. And now people are saying I'm a fucking thief.
Her
fucking bank account.
So you know, all right, you could definitely know what I'm going through. Look, I'm not saying that you. I felt we're kind of. I almost feel like we're in an impasse already. Like we'll pick on Matt next.
What?
I don't. Yeah, you're next. Like I don't. We don't really disagree with each other. It's just that I don't think that you took my stuff seriously.
Shall I tell you what I will say though, is that I believe that your team, your researchers or whatever, didn't watch the whole video because at the end I literally said there was no denying that the girl is literally the common denominator in every single one of these situations. I'm not here to advocate for her being a good person, but in the game of social media, whoever has the most receipts wins. And if you're a new person looking at the situation, she has the most receipts, so she's kind of
I don't even, because you mentioned before we came on that guy, the Click. I don't care about his situation one fucking iota. I think you'd also fundamentally miss it. So when we're changing things over here or doing things different, I'm trying to stay away from drama and then more goof on the drama rather than being part of it.
Yeah.
And or just like stir the pot or anything. I'm just more we're going. You don't have Howard Stern in England, but that's kind of what we're going for. We're kind of a back to basics approach. So, you know, when stuff like this comes out, there's no other way to talk about it than, I guess, doing older shot from the point, so to speak, and doing it from a drama perspective. I just, I think we have sort of I think it's understandable that we're spiking the football. I don't think we're being ridiculous with her. I really don't. I don't think we're, because like, if you hadn't have not liked, because I'm going to give you a chance to respond. If you had not liked what I said, I would have dropped it. It's done for me. I don't care about unless something funny happens. You know, I heard they're accusing each other, like stealing each other's cars. That's funny. Like that's funny to me. You know, white people stealing from each other. That could be a headline. yeah. So yeah, you get where I'm coming from. Yeah, I think there's something there. I'll even give you this. There may be. I'll tell you. Blair told me she had to lock herself up for a minute. Yeah, shortly after we ended the project together, right? And then she came back like super healthy, and then used like she got Nerd City content through me. She got this Lazo content through me. Not that I built her channel or anything, but everybody's, you know this, to even have, I don't even have a platform as big as you, to have a platform as small as what we have, right? You got to know somebody. You got to get lucky. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I know. I think luck happens all the time. With my channel grew exponentially. I think when Peter Mon shouted me out, right? And he's obviously a big T channel, and then that's when I went from 0 to 100. So sometimes having a good person to shout you out can help.
I had Keemstar. I mean, so boom. So it's pretty much the same story. All right. I guess. Let's see.
I do want to ask you a question, and since Nicholas Diorio is in the chat, I'm going to just say this right now. How do you feel about Nicholas Diorio advocating that people should make videos on Illuminati in order to apply pressure, if you will?
He should make a move.
Because that was giving very much T channel.
I normally would think that was really cancel culture-ish, right? But I got to be honest with you. I think she's such a terror. Yeah. I mean, because she's not just fucking with me, she's not messing with me, she's messing with other people, she's making people miserable, and I have no reason to believe it's not like 90% of the time her fault. I'm sure that one of these situations with her receipts or whatever, but that was another thing too, like she talked, I did watch
okay, I can't hear anything, the sound's gone.
Sound's gone? You sure? What happened? What happened? She can't
I can hear. What can I do? She's probably on her end.
Come in and out.
All right.
All right. We'll pull her in and out. Hang on. Yeah. Here. Okay. Yeah. I think that's all she's got to do. Hello, Pat. Pat.
I'm back.
Paige. Yeah. It was just there was a Discord thing. You can put your camera back on if you want. It was just a Discord screw up.
There you go.
No, I mean normally I would think that it was kind of lame, but I mean there's just so many other people that are kind of dealing with her. Yeah. I don't think I got a problem with it. Thanks so much. I do appreciate the donations, by the way. No, I don't think I got a problem with it because she's making other people miserable. This wasn't just like one fight that we had. It went on. I gotta understand, like, it was so weird. Like the whole incident with my then sort of helper, who was like 17 years old, calls this guy fat. All right. And he's one of her mods. I get a call and it's like, Tommy, I have to talk to you. And this is like, we're always like even, like, there was never like even when she had 100 subs, there was never we never talked to each other that way. So this was, I was talking to my boss, right?
Yeah.
And I immediately, like, I didn't go as far. I didn't go right back at her. I just went, look, Blair, I don't know what you want me to do. I'm not firing the kid for doing something. And I was like, they even know each other. I don't even know what the big deal is. And she's just, but my mods. And I had to go, Blair, I couldn't give a fuck what your mods think, all right, if they got their feelings hurt or not. And then I took it as, because early on in my Discord, I had like people try to tunnel in through Discord. They try to tunnel into your projects and stuff. There's a whole, not patriarchy, there's like a whole group of people that develop in your Discords. I can't remember the word for it. That like
parasocial
sort of, no. It's the name.
More like orbiters or something.
No. It's like a group. They establish a hierarchy. That's the word. They establish a hierarchy in the Discord, and they get. And all I did was say, like, look, man, I'm not doing anything. You don't get to tell me what to do. I didn't even say it like that. I was just like, but like that's it. He's not getting fired, and please don't let these people kind of take you over and start telling you what you gotta do. Like the people are telling you to come to me to tell me off. I mean, that's never gonna work, Blair. I tried to say the message, like, I've dealt with people much bigger than you, made them look much stupider, and walked away from it. You, like, my personal friend doesn't scare me all that much. And then she's like,
when I watched your video, I could see like the original video it is that you made on Illuminati. I could see that you were like really emotional about it, and not in like a oh kind of way, but more so like, you know, you'd let this woman into your world. You were saying that like she'd spoken to your wife, you know, you'd shown her your children. And obviously if you're an internet person, you don't do those kind of things lightly.
No.
So you can imagine like how it must have made you feel for real. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, my feelings, whatever. And I'm like, I don't think it's like completely ridiculous on your part to think that the commentary bros are overreacting. I think there's a lot of that. I think there's some of the, I just don't think that particular criticism this particular time was valid. I'm sure there's 100 other times when there's, you know, for all the pearl clutching that I claim about, my side does their share of pearl clutching too. And it's one of the reasons I kind of like shifted gears a little bit. As far as Nick Diorio goes, I think in that situation, yeah, absolutely. I don't care. You know who really needs to make a video is him. You know, he's got intimate knowledge. He needs to get off his ass and him. And he knows how I feel about that. I talked to him about that. He needs to do it. You know, like, yeah, and I think it would be, I think he could make it fun, and I think he should flip the funny on a little bit because there's a lot of funny stuff with Blair. Oh, that was another thing too. I can't take any of her receipts seriously, right? Because of the comment that she made that me and Nick were goofing on her, I guess her, she claimed she had a baby who died, right? That never happened. Nobody, like, there's no funny end there. Like, like, yeah, she claimed. So, like, yes, did we joke around with her? Did we make fun of her and stuff like that? And it was all ha-has both ways. And we both had understanding. That's it. That's true. But I didn't even know that she lost a baby. I didn't know. And that is just the goddamn last thing I would do. I'm more right-wing, and I'm not religious, but I'm anti-abortion. So I just can't even see myself like doing something like that. I'm not saying there's no way to joke. Like I'm one of these people. You can make fun of anything, but like it's like you can make fun of anything in any group of people as long as there's no hate there. I don't know how to bring up somebody's dead baby without. I'm sure there's a way, but I'm not funny enough to do it. You know, like where it's just like cool. You know, I think white people can make black jokes, and as long as they're not fucking hateful and actually bigoted, like I think these people are lower than me, it can be really funny. You know, and that's my stance on that. There is just no fucking way I did that to her. No way I did that. There's no way Nick did that to her. I mean, it's just impossible. So anything that she's saying about these current people, I would take it with a grain of salt because she could be manipulating it. Like, yes, we joked. No, we didn't joke about that. There's no way we can prove we didn't joke about something. You can't prove a negative. So I wouldn't believe a word she said. Like a word she said. Right.
Yeah, I remember Tipster saying something similar. Like it was like, even if you wanted to take the message, it was kind of the wrong messenger to send it. So I can understand.
All right. Well, here's the thing.
Well, I can see that Nicholas Diorio wants to come in. So if he wants to come in and have a chat, I'm more than happy to do so.
Right, let me say so. Hey, Nick, when are you gonna make a video?
Stephanie.
You gonna make a video or what? You gonna make a video?
Maybe, but I have a few questions if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I guess my major issue with this whole situation, let's just I'll even give you the fact that maybe you didn't know that I'm like on Tommy's team during the whole duration of this, and we're like actively like business partners while this is happening. So I'll give you that. I just don't seem to understand why you can see Tommy's interactions with Blair and kind of justify why he's had such a reaction to the situation. And then for me, it's some straw man Gabbie Hanna example. I guess why is the double standard applied, even if Tommy agrees with all those Gabbie Hanna points as well?
What do you mean about the Gabbie Hanna points? Why?
I get like you're angling this as like making some comparison as if like Blair and Gabbie are I guess handled similarly in the commentary bros, like while attacking her. I'm confused at where that's going.
Okay, so when it comes to Illuminati, the fundamental issue that people seem to be having with her is the fact that it is a pattern of events, right? She keeps doing this bullshit shit to people over and over again, either calling them out publicly without any real facts or receipts to back that up, as well as just being a shitty person to individuals within the community, and that's been happening for quite some time. So when all of these people started coming out one by one talking about their own personal experiences with her, the stance from you, from what I gathered from your Twitter at least, was that you wanted more people to come forward because then it would show a pattern of behavior. The thing that I'm trying to make you understand when it comes to the Gabbie Hanna situation is that for my community, now granted, I actually don't agree with my community when it comes to this, and I made videos at the time stating that I felt that they went a little bit too hard on Gabbie Hanna. But when it comes to my community, the stance that they took was that it was a pattern of events. So when the Bianca Devins situation did take place, it was like another one to add on top of an already growing snowball of Gabbie Hanna just being horrible to people.
But the Bianca Devins thing was a non-issue because it was a clear mistake.
I fundamentally agree that the Bianca Devins situation was a mistake, and there was absolutely no other way that Gabbie Hanna could have been able to handle that situation more effectively. Yeah. But the community had already turned on her because of the past behavior, be that her relationship with Trisha Paytas, the way it is that she's treated other people who reviewed her books, the way it is that she handled her time when she was with that Mr. Preda guy and all of that kind of stuff, her relationship with Alex James, as well as the Jessie Smiles situation. Like, there was so much already that it was like yet another thing to show that from my community's perspective, that she was just a shitty person. So whilst I don't believe that that was a fair example, especially with the Bianca Devins situation, I understand where the community is coming from. So it's kind of, for me, when I'm looking at it, it was like our community was supposed to put aside all of the other bullshit and focus on the Bianca Devins situation, which is where I would actually go as well, that we should have just focused on that one situation.
I want to answer that. I want to answer that before Nick
But then
does.
With your community, we have to acknowledge everything that this person has ever done and not focus on the current situation.
Yeah, see, I don't think that's the case. And the other thing is, I think each situation, Jessie Smiles did nothing.
Do you mind? I can take this. Do you mind?
All right, go ahead.
So the issues I had with Gabbie Hanna are a lot, and I'm not going to stick on them too much because that's not really the point. But with Gabbie Hanna, I think that the whole situation with Bianca was fucking insane. I actually openly dislike Jessie Smiles. I think a lot of her arguments are fucking stupid. I have a 7-hour stream on my second channel going through that. I'm not afraid of any of those arguments. If I thought that there were valid arguments to be made against Gabbie, and there are valid arguments like in other sectors, sure, I think those are totally fair. I think that a lot of the stuff that she's been receiving is unjust. Not just criticism. And for all I know, some of the stuff that Illuminati is dealing with is unjust criticism. The time will show that as it progresses. And that's why I think videos should be made about it. I think they should articulate their points. Like you said, evidence wins. I think they should provide some of that because a lot of it was all spoken word. But that's not the problem. The problem is, as we're sitting here talking about T channels, the difference between me, a commentary channel, and you, a T channel, who is claiming that she knows what I'm talking about on my Twitter, which she has blocked. I guess the only tweet you saw is when I'm telling people to make videos. Because if you didn't and you were looking through all the other stuff, I'm not hiding my bias. That's the difference here. I'm vindictive, 100%. The same way Tommy's vindictive because of the way that he's been treated by Illuminati. Okay, I'm looking at somebody who's DMCA'd my fucking channel. I'm looking at somebody who lied about being swatted by somebody and then went into business with them. I'm looking at somebody who's gone around telling people that I made fun of her cancer and her miscarriage and all the shit that she was going through supposedly when we were friends that she never even told me about. Okay, I have people messaging me in 2019, moderators of a server, saying to look out for this guy. He's like made fun of my cancer and he's this huge piece of shit. I have those same fucking messages from new moderators in 2023. This has been going on for years. So please argue why I'm not justified to be mad at her and why I'm not justified to fan the flames. I would really absolutely love to know.
Okay, so you already acknowledged that in the beginning when I said that I'd looked over Tommy C's video that there was, you could at least give some allowance to the fact that I might not have known that you were quite heavily involved with her.
No, because you're a T channel. You don't fucking know anything. Ever. That's the problem with you. You're a fucking airhead and you go out and you speak about a bunch of shit that you don't fucking know about. And then when people criticize you, it's just like, oh, it's the fucking commentary men here to attack me again. This is why people don't like you and it's sickening.
Yeah, I don't really care if people don't like me though. So
Okay, sure.
that's
guaranteed.
That's a
Yeah, I'm
non-argument for me. But no, when I was talking about it, I was mainly speaking about the instance at hand. I wasn't talking about all of the other
No,
instances.
but I wasn't, and you thought I was because you didn't do your fucking research. Again, Petty Paige.
Yeah,
okay,
but
so then where would I find that? Where would I find that?
On my
gotta
fucking timeline that you blocked because I've been tweeting about it nonstop. I've been going on multiple streams talking about it. So I don't know, maybe before you do your commentary response stream, you should have your news team do the fucking research.
Actual content, though.
Petty,
what content
can you
have you
concede?
made?
Can you concede, sort of like you did with
Dude,
me?
go look at Tipster's video, the one you cited where he talks about how she DMCA'd my fucking channel.
Yeah,
I thought that was your research.
I mean, I'm Nick's being a lot harder on you than I want, but I mean, like you did say you watched all the content, and it's like I don't think Nick understands like how you didn't come to the conclusion that he's maybe.
I didn't think. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I didn't think that his involvement was as deep, and I didn't expect this kind of emotional reaction from him. If I'm perfectly honest, because I didn't think that it was as deep or as big for him.
Sure. I mean, all right. So you got to concede. So you have to concede. You have to concede. You didn't.
Are you going to let me finish?
You might have made a mistake. All right, go ahead. You can finish.
So when it came to that, I thought the main people who really should have a more emotional stance when it comes to this is individuals such as Cruel World, Happy Mind, as well as Tommy C, and maybe Tipster as well. But I didn't think that your involvement was as heavy or that it had that much of an emotional effect on you.
Nick,
exactly.
Can I ask you something? Can I play devil's advocate here? Can I devil's advocate?
Sure.
How much was she I mean, look, you always, everybody says do their research, and I roll my eyes when
I mean,
how much
I
should
can't
she have
make
known?
her put my name in her mouth.
Yeah.
When she starts spouting off about, well, Nick Diorio this and Nick Diorio that,
Well, I mean,
and then she doesn't know the whole fucking story, it's her problem. That's what happens when you don't know the whole fucking story.
Well, I agree with you. I agree with you.
I
agree with you. But for devil's advocate's sake, how much is it reasonable for her to know that you guys were that close with the
that
stuff that's
close?
out there?
No, but I'm tweeting about like the DMCA's and stuff.
All right, Petty, can you concede that maybe you spoke? I mean, it's not like a first, like.
I mean, I've done whole streams with Tom like this week.
Can you concede that maybe you spoke out of order on this one?
When it comes to his involvement in the situation, for sure, because from my perspective, it just looked like a lot of dogpiling was going on, and then somebody else was there like, yes, let's fan the flames. Fuck
you're
this
wrong.
bitch. Like
that's me. I think we should fan the flames. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. You see, I mean, I do. In fairness. I mean, somebody's got to be neutral. I'm just not angry with you, and I can understand why Nick's angry with you. Be completely honest with you, but I mean, I think you just jumped the gun a little bit, and you thought it was. I don't know if you should look at us as a monolith, like the commentary, because I barely talk to Augie anymore. Me and Nick don't talk as much. Lately we have been talking about Arcade 1-Up, but I don't know if you should look at it as such a monolith. Like, I don't think it would be fair for me. And I got to be honest. In the same instance, and this is the reason that I do view it as somewhat of a monolith, is because when it comes to the tea community, regardless of the kind of content it is that I've been making over the past 2 years, or how my stances have leaned a little bit further away from more of a liberal stance and stuff like that, I'm still considered a part of the tea community. Well,
I'm still considered, as far as Nick Diorio is concerned, as an airhead who doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. So
I'm sorry, have you given me any indication that that's not the case during this entire conversation?
I'm literally not here to prove anything to you.
No, you came on here to glob Tommy. That's why you're here.
That.
Glob.
What the fuck is glob, glob?
In fairness, Nick, I told her it was going to be easy. Like, I wasn't here to
we're having this. The big debate's going to come on. I can't wait.
No, there's no debate. There was no debate. I allowed it between you and her because I thought it would be funny, but I told her to let her guard down, in fairness. To let her guard down.
Nick, I do want to ask you a question. Do you think it's fair that, many people who are watching this, especially Illuminati fans who probably aren't aware of her prior issues with your community, with yourself, with Tipster, with Tommy, with the Risco situation, do you think it's fair to say that they won't care about what happened to you guys?
I to be honest, if they don't care about it, that's totally fine. There's a bunch of random allegations coming from partners and roommates and stuff like that, and that's probably more their speed. But I'm
No.
not talking to your audience who might not know the situation. I'm talking to somebody who invoked my name into the situation, started making wild Gabbie Hanna comparisons, started quoting my Twitter, which she has blocked, so she obviously can't be reading all the stuff I've said about Blair. You obviously aren't reading all of it. You cherry-picked which tweet you wanted to argue about, and now we're arguing about it. So, again, this is your problem, your fault.
Yeah.
If your audience doesn't like my argument, totally fine. Justified.
Let me interrupt
sure
for a minute. I think it's fair to say it's your fault, and I'll do the same thing. The same way, if you watched my video yesterday, one of the things I didn't like about it, when I went back, I kind of put you in this hole where you were going to be this sort of reactionary left wing, call us misogynist stuff and stuff like that, and you really didn't, at least from my perspective and the stuff that Matt pictured, you really didn't do that. And I don't know if you watched towards the end of the video, I kind of admit this was not as bad as I thought. So if I can say I'm wrong for putting you in a box, I think you can probably do the same thing for Nick.
Yeah, of course. I can definitely say that, you know, when it came to the situation, that I didn't like fucking think that it was a huge deal in the same way that he believes it is 100%. It's not me trying to make the commentary bros a monolith just for the sake of, you know, aggravating the community. I just see a lot of hypocrisies. And when I watched over Nick Diorio's 7-hour stream to do with Gabbie Hanna, I couldn't help but feel that some of the things it was that he was setting aside wasn't important, especially when he was sitting down watching the Jessie Smiles video. I couldn't help but feel that, like, well, is it fair for us to not set aside all of the past and only focus on the one instant?
But I think it's apples and oranges. The argument you're making is apples and oranges. And I think that's fair to say. Yes, I think if the situation was exactly how you expected, you'd be 100% right. But I don't think that's the situation. You've admitted that you didn't know the other stuff, that you didn't know the whole the outlining.
And
things.
the part that blows my mind is I've made like at most I've retweeted some of the stuff that those other people have said. Like my coverage about this hasn't been about like the fucking shit all over her floor or whether she stole a car. Like the stuff that you supposedly could have seen me say has literally nothing to do with any of that. The only stuff I talked about recently was Legal Eagle, and it's the newest situation. It's the most recent.
Yeah, but you were also on Twitter advocating that people should create content about it, and I felt that that was a very T channel-like thing to do. That is something that I would have expected from the T community of 2017.
Yeah,
so
it was
for
also
me,
what we did when we
it's
were
kind
like
of like when we're waving the opposing finger at the T community for, you know, being hypocrites and da-da-da-da-da. It's kind of hard for me not to see you do that. I've actually got some notes if you're interested in hearing them.
Sure, read them.
Okay, so when I watched the stream it is that you did in, I think it was a couple of years back, the 7-hour stream to do with Gabbie Hanna. These were some of the things it is that I picked up. So 2 hours and 24 seconds in, you stated that we are still talking about it 2 years later. Then 2 hours 27, Nick and Tommy tell Jessie to get over it because it's drama from 2 years ago. Bear in mind, we're talking about sexual assault and rape allegations.
Let her go.
2 hours 29.
I gotta know my part.
They talk about T channels. They talk about how T channels felt that Jessie's video showed a pattern of behavior, whereas you guys felt that it was all dog shit. 2 hours and 43 minutes in, Tommy states that they were, as in T channels, don't know the difference between emotion and evidence, and then states sarcastically that emotional testimony may as well be evidence to us. 2 hours and 49 minutes in, Tommy states that this is typical T community. If you don't jump on the bandwagon, therefore you are a rape apologist. My thoughts are the same. If you don't jump on the bandwagon in terms of jumping on, you know, the bandwagon, the hate train for the Illuminati situation, then it's because you're either friends with that person or, like Tommy stated, because we both have vaginas.
Well, that was clearly a joke. Are you going to hold me accountable for jokes? I mean,
first of all, I just want to let the jury show that suddenly she has very specific evidence, like to the exact second of live stream. Let the jury show the research team is doing something. All right, so maybe we shouldn't shit on all of them. But here's my point. All right, Gabbie Hanna, and forgive me if I'm wrong, is one of the most widely covered dramas of all time. Can you give me an estimate on how many videos you think discuss the Jessie Smiles situation?
I would say 1, 2, 3,
Not by you.
4 videos. No, by Gabbie. 4 videos.
No. I'm not talking about Gabbie. I'm talking about the community. Any video you could count Angelica
hundreds.
I mean, if we just put Hello Leash, you can add another 200 to the top
hundreds.
Yeah, okay.
Hundreds.
That's what I'm talking about when I say it's 2 years ago. I'm saying this has been covered. There are more printings of Gabbie Hanna's conversation with Jesse Smiles than there are translations of the fucking Bible. Okay, so when Illuminati gets critiqued for 3 weeks, I don't hold that to the same standard as one of the most widely covered dramas of all time.
I concede that point. I can see now we're on a place where we can come to an agreement. I can concede that point for sure. For sure, because Gabbie was covered heavily and has been heavily covered for several years, whereas this situation wasn't. A
thing of mine. It's just like the people who bankroll their entire they literally pay for a house off of one content creator. That's the kind of people I'm critiquing.
I paid for my kitchen off John Cookian. I paid for my kitchen off John Cookian.
Look, apparently Omnia had $100,000 off Creepshow art and was still asking for people to buy your Mario Kart 8 off her fucking Amazon wish list. I don't know, bro. I don't know how this shit goes. Apparently making like spam content can make a lot of money. But that's what I'm talking about when I say 2 years.
Okay, fair enough. I agree.
Honestly, it's just like what I don't see is, it is subjective. I admit. I don't think fucking Gabbie's as bad as Illuminati. I really don't. And certainly nowhere near as vicious. Is she vicious?
The problem with Illuminati is the well is so fucking poisoned. It's absolutely poisoned. Because, I mean, I can't take a single thing she says seriously. Yeah. Just knowing how much she's lied about me, about how much she's lied to Tommy, how they had a nice conversation. Tommy goes to sleep and wakes up and all his videos are gone. That's a weird thing. That's a fucked up thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm involved in this whole process. Like, I'm talking to Tommy how to go, I think it went pretty well.
Lo and behold, you know what she was thinking about doing? I looked at her. I just found out about it. She was about to fucking join I Am Alex and all that whole crowd and dunk on Zlazo. I just found that.
Yeah, apparently I heard rumors that she's like cool with that mystery box guy now. I don't know if that's the case, but every time Blair goes to war with somebody, she's
wacky. There's no doubt about it. I'm sure. Like I would never get in a debate with you, Miss Paige, about like whether she's fucked something up, but. You know, with Gabbie, it almost seems like the thing she does is just like because she's impulsive, whereas Blair, it's planned, it's like premeditated.
I don't think
Blair is an extremely paranoid person.
We know this personally.
Yeah, above all else, she's an extremely paranoid person. This person is thought of every single way that could possibly get fucked, and to the point where it's almost like reached insanity.
Yeah, I don't think Gabbie is taken seriously. Illuminati is.
Like, well, that's another thing.
Gabbie's channel.
Gabbie got in a fight.
Like Illuminati is almost uncontroversial prior to this. Like prior to the Legal Eagle tweet, like it has I would say almost perfect record.
Image.
You wouldn't know any of her issues, like Us or the r/botting drama. Or I think she had like one more that was in there. That was another weird one. But like none of these are known. And her own audience, I mean, realistically, Paige, when she's doing the Reddit content for the first half of her career, I mean, how dedicated are those fans? You know?
Yeah.
She makes very like almost I say bland, but I think a better word is just hollow content. Like there's no personality that comes through it. It's hard to have personality when you go and have a script writer, 7 editors, metadata people, to the point where you just show up and you recite the words that are already written on the page for you.
Wish I could do that.
No, at this point, she's pretty much like a glorified voiceover actress.
Like
but that's why I think she's a narcissist, because how could you be a voice actor whose only job could be literally replaced by AI tomorrow, and then turn around and be like, how fucking dare you take my ripped page transition? Yeah. That's like insane. And that's what I want people to talk about more. I wanted her to explain that because it's funny.
Yeah, and I agree 100% that the way that she handled that was fucking wild. There was no need to have gone in that way. And also, if you're not editing it, you can't even stamp ownership of things that you're not even fucking editing. I did make those points as well.
A factory line.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to go back to all the mean things I said. Go read that thing again. With the vaginas thing was clearly a joke. You can't.
Okay, let's go.
Go back
What
to
stream
you
is this
said.
from?
Okay.
Yeah, I got
Uh,
it.
this is Nick Diorio's 7-hour stream. It says Nick talks about Gabbie Hanna for 7 hours straight or something like that.
Okay.
And so the ones that involve you, Tommy, is at 2 hours and 27 minutes. Nick and Tommy tell Jesse to get over it because it's drama from 2 years ago.
I really want to see that stream. I said, in what context did I say get over it?
Is this when she came back and made the same video again?
No, this was the first video that she did.
Here's the thing, Paige. Here's where I don't trust you. If I had said, you got molested, get over it. Now, if it's that kind of fucking delivery, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you could use that against me, right? If it's like, these bitches need to get over it. I mean, they're always complaining about getting raped and shit. And I'm saying it like unironically. All right, yeah, you got me. But I don't do that. So I'd really like to see the context of that and my tone and everything before it. God. Because the vagina thing that you read at the end was clearly a goof. You know, I mean, geez. I mean, look, my wife's smarter than me. I don't think I'm superior to women in any reasonable way. You know. So, I mean, did you think you might have taken me out of context a little bit or maybe not put in the tone? You really think I'm a bigot?
Oh, I didn't think it was bigoted to even say that. I just, the point that I was trying to make was that it was like a little bit of hypocrisy with the way that, you know, the tea community was viewed. You also
it's not
have to
hypocrisy, and I'll tell you why it's not hypocrisy. It's not hypocrisy because these are two different situations. It's not hypocrisy, and I'll just be real simple. It's not hypocrisy. It's two different situations, and I believe, and this is something we could argue, this is subjective, she's a lot worse. And I just see the difference between Illuminati and Gabbie is openly mentally ill and Blair is privately malicious and has a squeaky clean image on top of that. And it's like you said, if you didn't know what we're doing, and not everybody's into what we're doing, you wouldn't know that. You might actually take, if people had watched my streams and seen what she's done and known about Happy Clear World, they would take even the parts she's telling that are true about her roommates, and they'd say, you know what? Who cares? Because you're full of shit. They would like, she has no credibility on anything, at least in my book. And I think that's what really should be spread around. I don't know if she should get the benefit of the doubt. Yeah.
But do you think that this situation has been adequately handled? Because obviously all of the stuff that's come forward
I don't know.
At this point,
I don't know.
There hasn't been like
Yeah,
it's the Mr. Click video. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. But in terms of so far prior to the Mr. Click video, because obviously I haven't watched that yet, but so far nobody's actually provided any receipts. So when you go into my comment section for my video, and obviously I haven't deleted anything, just to make that clear, but the comments are basically like, why should we give a fuck about all of this other stuff? Like, why aren't we talking about the situation at hand? They're actually annoyed that I didn't get to the crux of the situation until a little bit later into the stream, because the background that I was providing, they didn't give a fuck about, which is kind of half the problem, is that with these people coming forward, they aren't providing any relevant receipts. Therefore, to the community, it reads as he said, she said bullshit.
You know what? You're probably right about everything you said. You shouldn't have dragged us into it. You shouldn't.
I don't even disagree, though.
I don't know. I don't think there's anything you said.
The only thing I think is that her audience is so fucking, like, I think they're so young and zoomery. I don't think it'll matter in some cases. I see people on Twitter say shit like, wow, I'm so sorry this happened to you. I know you can't provide. How could you possibly have information that could prove this? But I believe you, or whatever. I don't know. It's more increasingly common, and she has a really normie audience. But I don't think that is justified. And in terms of the Gabbie Hanna stuff, if Blair sold like paintbrushes or something, and the quality wasn't up to snuff, and a few people didn't get their order, but most people did, I wouldn't go and say that she was like a fucking scammer and intentionally scammed her fans.
I would make a crack about it.
Crazy Gabbie Hanna dramas that I wouldn't even justify on like my worst enemy, because they're just so
I'd make a crack.
stupid.
I would definitely make a crack about it, though. I would fucking think it was funny. You know, like when
I would make a crack about it, like I make a crack about Bo Black
like
promoting Scentbird.
Christie, like when you say like adequately handled, I'm out of that business. I'm like I was in it for a long time. It's like the same thing with you with the whole Petty Paige moniker. I am out of that business. I am not analyzing this shit anymore. It's not fun for me. It's not fun. That's just me. A lot of my friends do it. They enjoy it. They've done stuff with it. Some people have gotten paid for it. It is not my thing anymore. I am done. I'm only interested in like the funny stuff, and then maybe if I get in a fight with another content creator, and that's why you're here or something like that, so we can argue. That's it. And here's the thing. Nick, will you get out of here? I want to hit on black chicks. All right.
All right.
Look, you have made an effort to like. You have made it. Like, I don't care what your politics are. I really don't. You have made an effort. I mean, I thought it was sweet when you apologized to Augie, and that's kind of where I'm going to challenge you a little bit here. Maybe not as much as Nick did. Obviously, like, I knew you before, I watched your content a little bit before the thing in Minnesota happened, and I noticed a real change in your personality after that in 2020, and it did seem like, white people bad. I'm not going to tell you, but you did.
No, I'd agree.
Oh, you're not going to even fight me on this one.
No, I would agree. To be honest, I feel like the induction into the commentary space was kind of like a baptism of fire for me.
Really?
I think that it made me have to somewhat challenge a lot of my preconceived notions of other people, really? And the way that it is that they, behave and how that relates to them as an individual. So yeah, I definitely was very much like, if anything racist is said in any parameters, regardless of whether it's a joke or not, we should all be angry about it. But no, my stance on that's changed.
Fair enough. Well, I thought it was really sweet when you apologized. You just out of nowhere, you're like, I want to talk to you, to Augie. I thought that was like really cool. I thought it was really nice because it'd gotten quite ugly between you two. And then I remember, because I met you on a stream where I think it was me and Nick, and we were goofing around, and you're, how is it, Repsion or something? And we were like making you chuckle and stuff. And then I see this girl in 2000, and I don't spend my time hating black people on my time off. I'm not making my show, it's not my bag. And then I heard your husband's white, correct?
Yes, he is.
It's like, did that, like, this is what I'm gonna ask you, like, this is not a criticism. This is, look, obviously something like that happening could have an effect on people. Obviously it changed your worldview and what like thing. Like what happened? Like what got ticked? You've obviously straightened it out now. What I'm trying to understand here is what gets a jovial, nice girl to get that angry? What happens? That's the question. How did that change? Because when I met you the first time, jovial, friendly. And that's not the person that was around in 2020. That's when the riots were, right? Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, we have to look like socio-politically as well. Like, this is off the back of like fucking Black Lives Matter, right? The government, the TV, everybody was telling us we should be upset and offended at all times, and that white people being silent was implicit violence. So it was very easy for me as just a black person wanting justice for black people just in general to take that hard stance. It wasn't very hard for me to become militant, right? And I just think over time now, obviously I've learned that Black Lives Matter was an absolute pile of fucking wank that did absolutely nothing for my community. My stances have changed like significantly. Before you couldn't make a joke about George Floyd. Now I'm like, well...
It's not a nice thing to do.
To quote you, it was 2 years ago. Get the fuck over it,
Fair enough. See, that's the person I thought I met. I don't think I know you, and then all of a sudden, Augie's a concentration camp guard. I'm like, that's not fair.
I called him a shooter, and by far that is the worst thing that's actually ever came out of my mouth. And to this day, I apologize for that because that was a bit.
Well, I'm not a big believer in bad things can come into your mouth. I think it's got to be like some legitimate.
It was still based on like a bias of him being a white person. Let's just keep it all the way 100.
Well, there's very few people that I meet in my life that said, yes, I was biased. I bought into the militancy, and I don't buy into it anymore. And I'm grateful that you came around. I really am. I mean, if you would have, and I know things are weird when stuff like that happens. Like, if you would have asked if I'd have brought a Japanese girl home, and when my grandfather was still alive, or maybe even a German girl, now that I'm thinking about it, right? And I married 2 German women. Fucking. That's another show for another time, but he probably wouldn't have had it, He probably wouldn't have it. In fact, you might, with some of the stuff my grandfather said, the jokes he told, you might think he was a racist. When my grandfather died, this black family showed up at his funeral. Who I had no idea who they were. Well, you know who they were? My grandfather was a union leader. They had a black guy. He was in the typesetters union, right? That's where you have to line the letters up so you can print the newspaper. If you fucked up this like one thing, you were like, I don't know exactly what it was. It didn't matter who you were gone. All right. They had a black guy that had days to retirement, and he made that particular mistake. And they're like, oh, we got your pension. Get the fuck out of here, right? My grandfather, my racist grandfather said, we'll shut all of Newark down with typefitters tomorrow unless you give this man his pension. And their family in 1997 showed up to his funeral. Everything he said prior to that, you wouldn't have thought that he would have done something like that. But he did. And I'm trying to understand like where you're coming from. All right. That's what I'm trying to do. Like Japanese and Germans killed his buddies, right? So I get it. You see something like that, it's horrified. Do white people really think of me that way? Yeah, I get it. And it's nice to see you snapped out of it. Because did that create tension between you and your husband, or?
Not at all, to be honest, because when the hype of, Black Lives Matter and all of that was kind of running rampant, he felt that being silent himself, as a ally, if you was also fucking
one of
complicit.
those white guys.
Yeah, one of those white guys.
Yeah. He's actually a lot less PC than me. Less PC than me. So that's why I don't have him on my channel and stuff that often, because I'm scared he's going to say something that's going to get me fucking cancelled. Yeah, for real.
Well,
I love him to pieces, and he's really good. Like he's he could be a commentator in his own right,
really?
But he'd actually get cancelled immediately.
Send him my way. Is he a London guy? Are you? Let me ask you a little about personal life. You're in London right now?
Pardon?
You're in London? Are you in London?
No, I live in Yorkshire.
Yorkshire. That's north, south, east, west of London.
North England.
Northeast. So, wait a minute. So, like, by Newcastle, stuff like that?
Yeah. We're about 2 hours away.
Up there in Geordie land and what have you. So, is your husband a Newcastle fan?
No, he doesn't watch sports. He only watches American football.
That's so no, it's not as uncommon as you think, Matt. It's starting to get crazy.
I'm starting to see a lot of British
here.
people that are into American football.
Dude,
he used to play American football for his county before he got fat.
We have the same
before
problem.
I fed him.
Yeah, I know. That's the same here. That's my fucking problem. So that's so weird. I know a German guy that was in my poker server. He lives only a town over from here, and he's given up football for American football.
Yeah, you know that the YouTuber That Chapter, he does like crime stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Falcons fan. He's a Falcons
Wait a minute,
fan.
That Chapter, is that the Irish guy?
Yeah, the Irish guy.
I can't stand him. Oh, he makes me nuts. Like, look, I'm okay with jokes in uncomfortable or even murder scenes. Like I said, you can make everything funny, but he's never fucking funny. What's his name? That Chapter. Oh
That
God,
Chapter.
he just tells these like cringe jokes about. Well, I guess she won't be coming home. like what the fuck? It's like it's not even as well delivered as I just delivered. I can't stand that stupid.
No, he's cool in my book. He's a Falcons fan.
He's a Falcons fan. Strange.
Yeah.
Strange. NFL. They're gonna have games over here. I think they're having one in Wembley next year, and over here in Frankfurt as well. It's crazy how that much sports going up. Where did you grow up, though? I'm sort of interested.
So I I moved around a lot, hence why I don't have like much of a British accent. Like I have an accent, but you can't really pinpoint where I'm from.
You have a
if
very
sense.
sexy accent.
Very,
I can pinpoint it to
a very broad accent.
To us Yanks.
I've lived in the West Midlands. I've lived in South Wales. I've lived in Cumbria, and I also went to kindergarten in Jamaica. I've lived literally everywhere, all over the UK.
I was right. I thought you had some Jamaican features.
Yeah, I know. I'm Jamaican.
Yeah. Oh, you are Jamaican. Well, I grew up next to New York, so we know a lot of Jamaican guys. So I was like, I noticed it's the cheekbones, it's cheeks, because you have chubby cheeks. I'm really bad at explaining. I couldn't get a Jamaican girlfriend. I couldn't smoke with them. I couldn't stay in the room. I always pass out. No, I'm just kidding. So all right. So you moved around a lot. Were you born in Jamaica or were you born in England?
No, I was born in England. My mum's Jamaican. She was born in Jamaica, but I was born in England.
So, so when did she make the trip over?
She came over at 2 years old. My family came over in Windrush.
So you're English at this point. It's not.
Yeah.
There's not. Do you ever go back to Jamaica or anything like that? Or
yeah.
You didn't make me fat. I got fat by choice.
My husband just goes, "You didn't make me fat. I got fat by choice."
I want to see your husband. I've been dying to know what he looks like. Is he?
Yeah, Gareth, come in here.
I want to see what he looks. I want to see what he looks like.
Gaz.
If he can. If he doesn't, my wife doesn't come on camera. I couldn't offer the same.
No, he loves this shit.
Oh, he does. Oh, he's got a big beard. You like Americans? Oh God, he looks He's Irish descent, huh?
No, Scottish descent.
Okay, up north. He definitely. You know, once you go Celt, you never go back. You know that? That's the truth. He looks like a young Santa Claus.
He said she looked like a young Santa Claus.
No, I'm done out with my hair. I've just come back from drag racing yesterday, so
yeah.
He's not as fat as me though, and he's younger than me, so he's not too.
He's tall. He distributes the weight nicely.
Yeah, I used to. It's caught up with me though.
I carry it well.
You carry well. Guess what? The hoodies are it's getting too hot for hoodies. So look out. It's ridiculous. Yeah. All right. So you're up north. No wonder so you married. They're practically everybody up north is Scottish anyway. So no wonder you.
Yeah, there's a lot of like Scottish people, a lot of travelers and stuff. So he's.
You got
like,
a thing for you got it. Did you? My wife had a thing for like Irish, Welsh, Celtic guys. Did you have a thing for that, or just?
Well, I lived in South Wales like for 7 years, so a lot of my ex-boyfriends are Welsh. Oh well. A lot of my ex-girlfriends are Welsh.
Oh, nice. Give me the down low on the Welsh girls. I don't think I ever.
I personally think that ginger men are superior. Ginger men have bigger cocks, and ginger girls have tighter pussies.
Ginger men have big cocks? Boy, it's got to make up for how ridiculous they look. Yeah, might as well give them a big old cock. You know, getting goofed on, like they get goofed on. At least they got a big dick.
Yeah, exactly. Right. there's a redeeming factor there.
Well, I mean, look, I don't know. They used to, when I was a kid, because I'm Irish American, they said the Irish curse. That means you had a small dick.
Not at all.
Not a case. See, I got a bigger dick than all of you there, or at least half. I got half of it anyway. All right, that's pretty funny. Well, I got to be honest with you, Petty. I don't hate you.
I don't hate you either.
I don't hate you either. I don't even think Nick hates you. He wanted to.
I know he wanted to, and that's the thing. I can literally tell. He doesn't actually hate me as much as he wants. He called me an airhead and like...
Yeah, I know it's it. No, you rolled with it. You rolled with it. You did pretty good. I don't think you're a hateful person either. I think you're.
No.
Yeah, I think you're emotional. That's it. I mean, I am too. I'm joining the club.
To be honest, I'm just gonna be honest. When I made the live stream, I was on my period as well, so I was like, extra.
Well, that's no excuse. You don't get an excuse.
No, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Okay.
All right. Listen.
But yeah, it's been good to chat to you.
Yeah. I'll stick around. I want to say goodbye like properly offline. Yeah? Let me close the show, Joey. I just dyed my hand ginger Paige. You can have my number. He's in the Midlands. You can have Joey Westside if you want.
Okay. Thanks.
Well, it's nice to get to know you, get to know your family and stuff like that. And
yeah,
you know, I think it's important to see like because I don't know, it's kind of a new kick on. You got it. Like I'm all for like lighting somebody up, but you know you got to remember other people are human. You know?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, for sure.
I'm like I have gotten the feeling of something. Some of the things he said in the past. I don't care if you call me edgy or anything. Like,
yeah.
I'm definitely not a hateful person. Have I said hateful things? Yes, but
no, I've never. You're one of the few content creators that I don't actually like get like, oh, there's like a deep seated hate.
No, I'm not
involved in it. No. I don't feel that energy from you at all. I just think you're not PC. Like some of the stuff, like with saying the arsehole and stuff, that's things that just wouldn't come out of my mouth, but it's something that you do. But at the same time, so does fucking Tipster.
Yeah.
So what am I gonna do? Sit there and condemn everyone as ableist because they said that word? It's just like, come on now.
Even Xylee said it once or twice.
Oh,
she did. She said it once, and then she went and sent me a DM and apologized. I was like, I don't fucking care.
All right. All I know is Diva's out and you're in. I got a new black girlfriend. Sorry, Diva. You gotta work on your
I love
accent.
you, Diva.
Poor Diva. Work on your accent, sweetheart. All right, let me say goodbye to everybody. Hey,
Okay.
thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. Thanks, Stefan. Hope you enjoyed it. Nick tried to make you mad. You didn't get mad. Congratulations. And hopefully, Diva stopped taking the L's challenge impossible. That's terrible of you. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. Really appreciate donations. I will be, for a short time, I'll be doing an after show right after this. And all that good stuff. What else do I got? Yeah, I'll be doing a quick after show after this. And you guys have a great one. Take care and good night. Is it that hot?
It's so fucking hot.
Really?
Yeah, like this room, because it's a very small room and I've got like 3 computers in here, so it's really hot.
All right. Good night, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, hey, no